Hey guys, welcome back to Anytime Any Day Club, a new series I recently started. I decided to start this series because I sometimes like to discuss topics that are not necessarily personal finance or career or business related. These ideas generally come spontaneously, so I don't usually get the chance to write them down. But what is fascinating is that I always take some time to analyze them. It doesn't matter if I'm in the bus going to work or if I can't sleep at night. So I recently asked myself, why don't I take some time to share these thoughts with the rest of the world whenever they come up? I decided to get back to running after failing miserably many times in the past. But I didn't understand why until recently. So I used to blame the outside world and my circumstances. So I was saying things like, I'm too tired after a long day at work. It's too cold out there. I can't go outside for a run. It is the weekend. I want to take some time and relax. But after careful analysis, I realized why I was failing, and it wasn't for the reason above. I simply failed because I was trying to implement major changes at once. A few years ago, after a long period of time without running, I decided to commit running again. And this time around, I decided to do 8K every single day after work, running from the office till home. That was just mad. I don't know what was going on in my brain at the time that made me believe I would be able to pull it off. I used to pack my running gear with me every morning to go to work with, feeling very confident that this was a new path I wanted to take. And of course, for the first couple of weeks, that worked. I was pumped. I had the excitement, I had the motivation, I was determined. As you could imagine, this wasn't sustainable. So I stopped after 3 weeks. I didn't stop, I basically gave up. It was just too much of a change I was imposing to my body. So this approach didn't work because our bodies and our mind do not like sudden changes. And this is not our fault. We have a very old mind operating in our system, and that very old brain associates changes with pain. So we need to remember that we inherited our brain from our ancestors, and oh boy, they had a hard life. I wouldn't wish that to anyone, even to my worst enemies. Can you imagine living in a survival mode every time, worrying about being killed every time you step out the house? It doesn't matter if you're going for a walk or if you're going shopping or if you're going out to do some activities. Every time there's a confrontation, every time there's a risk that someone might kill you. It could be another human being or it could be an animal. And it could be for any reason whatsoever. It was just a savage time. I recently watched a movie called Synchronic, which explored this idea. Spoiler alert, the production and the acting of the movie was very average, but the storyline was brilliant. I loved it. Every time Anthony Mackie traveled back in time, he fought for his life. It was just crazy. Everyone just wanted to kill him for no reason. And bear in mind, he doesn't know these people. He traveled back there, he's a stranger. And everyone is just trying to kill him. Like, it doesn't matter where he ends up being, he's just running, or it's like he's just trying to run away from being killed. The funny thing is, this was not even race related. Anthony Mackie is a black guy. So one of those times he traveled back in time and he traveled back to a group of black people. And when I was watching the movie, I thought that would be different. I thought it wouldn't be a similar scenario. But I was so wrong. Just like, as soon as that guy arrived there and those guys saw him, they started pursuing him. They wanted to kill him. It was madness. That is what you call a hard life, man. For real. So what does this have to do with me failing at running consistently? I don't actually enjoy running, but it's the only exercise I know I can do for sure, which works every part of my body without me needing any equipment whatsoever. My whole thing is to eliminate any friction that might prevent me from taking action. When I get home from running, I usually do a 10-minute set of push-up and pull-ups and another 10-minute set of abs workout. For my 10-minute set of abs workout, generally follow Chloe Ting. You should check her out. She's amazing. I was actually introduced to her by a girl I used to date. And at first, I thought because it was a girl, teaching the sets, I thought it wouldn't be powerful enough. Oh boy, I was wrong. That thing is really, really hard. And I keep doing the same set again and again just because I don't believe in making changes if I haven't yet mastered the basics workout set that are already there. So I'm not chasing for anything that's shiny. I just want to do the simple stuff just for a long period of time. So because our body don't like changes, especially sudden changes, the secret to actually work around this is to make small, very small incremental changes to a point where your mind or your body do not even notice that it's happening. So when I started running again 4 months ago, I decided to run one day every week for only 20 minutes for 4 weeks. That was my challenge. That was my goal. I didn't want to make anything more than that. I just wanted to make a small incremental step so that my body, my mind wouldn't even notice that I was making a change. I was trying to cheat them. I was basically trying to cheat my brain and to cheat my mind to get by. This wasn't intimidating at all. I remember coming back from work and feeling tired and thinking to myself, like, oh, I have to go for a run today. This is that time of the week. And because it was just so easy, it felt like a joke if I didn't go out for a run. It just felt like this is nothing. Like, it's one day a week. Like, it's 20 minutes. And I have to do that again only next week, only the following week. It was just like a joke to me not to go out for a run. So there I went. So by doing so, I slowly trained my brain not to associate change with pain. The small incremental step was so minor to a point where my body and my mind didn't even notice it. But it was happening. And if for some reason I wasn't able to run in one of those 4 weeks, I will restart the process from scratch just because I wanted it to take a longer period of time. But also, I wanted it to be consistent without a gap because that's where the magic happens. So I repeated the same process when I moved from running to 1 day a week to running 2 days a week again. So when I started running 2 days a week, every time I was unable to run for 2 days a week consecutively over the 4 weeks, I restarted the process until I was able to achieve those 4 weeks, making sure that I run at least 2 days. And then the following one, I was able to move from running 2 days a week to running 3 days a week, which is currently where I am at the moment. So I run 3 days a week consistently, and I've been doing it for the past 3 weeks. So I've got 1 more week to go before I step up and move forward to running 4 days a week. Unless you're a professional athlete, you don't need to do more. Consistency wins over everything, especially when it comes to changing habits. Going for a 15-minute run or 20-minute run in a consistent manner, you pick the manner that works for you, but you do that consistently over a long period of time, you will see amazing changes happening in your life. By doing so, I was able to observe less and less resistance from my brain and from my body to implement mind-blowing changes. The fact that I've been able to start running from 1 day a week to running now 3 days a week has been astonishing over the span of 4 months. It's been 4 months I've been doing this. So, just that alone is, freaking amazing. This tactic seems to be working well for me. And I really hope that this helps some of you guys out there who are trying to implement change in your life. It could be something completely different. It doesn't have to be running. It could be a different type of exercise or a different type of activity, whatsoever it is. So my goal is to be able to run every day. I know. Hear me out. I sleep every day. I walk every day. I work every day. I eat every day. I drink every day. Why shouldn't I run every day? So sharing this story with you guys is a way for me to keep myself accountable. And hopefully you guys will keep me accountable as well because, every little help counts. This was just my 2 cents. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoy this content. I'll be shooting similar videos, so hit that bell if you don't want to miss them out. Thank you guys.